Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. It really hasn't changed much, but I'll show you anyway. Current blood sugar is at 6.7. I came up and I've been pretty well okay for a while now. Time in range is still 90%. Average blood sugar 6.8. So we're doing we're good. I'm kind of happy with it. I don't want to go through the lows again. For those of you who watched my video yesterday, I want to thank you for watching. I kind of went off on a tangent a bit, but it kind of also ties into this video. Now, this video I want to discuss about speaking up. And so we're going to do that today. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Why is it important to speak up? For so many years, I guess I was sort of like a headstrong teenager and always believed whatever I was told. That, yes, sir, that was the only way of doing things. And then I went into my doctor and he pretty well reamed me out for having typed out all these urine reports and saying, you just made this up. And I said, no. These are, well, you just type them up and you just put anything you want. And I think that was my first and probably my worst hurdle in fighting my type 1 diabetes. I just said fine, and I didn't go see a doctor for years. We went to move to Edmonton, didn't really see a doctor there. Came back to BC. When I was in high school, I started to see a pediatrician. And yeah, it was fine. He got me my first glucometer. Wonderful. He actually knew a lot of type 1. I guess he was treating it in his practice quite a bit. being a pediatrician. Another fun thing I remember about him is he barked like a dog, and that was the way of winning over the young patients. After going back to Vancouver after graduation, I spent some time during the summer with my mom and stepdad in a one-bedroom apartment. I slept behind the couch. And I didn't really see a doctor then. I ended up in Lionsgate Hospital in emergency a couple of times that summer. And it didn't click in. And when I started first year of college, it didn't click in. But when I started to see an endo again, I really started to try to take control of my diabetes. And as such, and with her help, I learned how to stick up for my diabetes and say, you know what, that's not really working. I had made a comment during the 9 months I was in the hospital, and I said, well, you know, it was her week. And they said, a lot of times these doctors will come in and they'll spend time with you for a week. And then they'll get up and they'll do what they want to do for the week, their own idea of solving the situation. And I didn't really feel for a while there I was making progress. And my doctor was great. She started to come in and see me every day after that till I got out. Minor days that she missed. But that was awesome. And I thank her for doing that. But she told me how to speak up for myself in the medical field. And yesterday, when I vented, I was trying to do that. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But you have to keep able to speaking up. For instance, for myself, I speak to you pretty much every day on this platform. I don't make any money from this. Probably doesn't deserve to make money from it, but anyway. I have standards of my care that I want to make sure are being followed. If things aren't working out, I have no problem in mentioning to the doctor. Dr. Shu, who is my current endocrinologist, awesome guy. I brought up to him that having to buy the copay for my insulin was really stumbling or a stumbling block for me. And he said, well, now there's a generic one. And it was like, okay. And I didn't have to take part of my check each month and put money aside for insulin. Now, some people in the States may disagree with this, that I'm complaining about a smaller amount. But up here, just the same as anyone else, when you're on a disability income, every little dollar helps. So you have to be aware and be conscious of what's going on. And it could be on YouTube, you could speak up. It could be writing notes. It could be talking up to your endocrinologist, your diabetes educator, and say, hey, things aren't really working here. Can we try this? Or I have an idea, let's try that. Now, along speaking up is a segment I like to do a couple of times, is what I started to call with my diabetic nurse, Stump the Nurse. And I come up with information I've seen on the internet, which you should be doing anyway. You should be checking anything, including what you hear on here, with your doctor, your educator, your dietitian, before starting anything. Now, don't let things go that you feel important. First of all, we're going to have to give insulin. I know yesterday in my rant I went on saying, well, I'll just stop taking insulin. That'll show them. It was just me venting. I'm not really going to do that. But there's got to be different options. And I've spoken a bit about this before, is a lot of times institutions will try, oh, you're a diabetic. You fit into this peg hole, and that's not the way we are. Every diabetic is an individual. And I am lucky with my diabetic training, the diabetic nurse, any of my endos I've had have always treated me as an individual. Is speaking up always going to be 100% effective? No, it's not. But you can achieve a lot more than sitting there and going, okay, doctor, I'll do that. In fact, if I had been invited to this meeting, I would have taken my iPad, I would have taken my phone and shown time and range for the last 2 weeks, how much better we're doing. But they have their own ideas, and that's the way things right now stand. Doesn't mean I've won, doesn't mean they've won, but we've got to come up with a workable solution. Excuse me. I can't go back to shots, and they're questioning the pump. I really have to wonder how much we learn by listening to the doctors, but how much they could learn listening back. And the only way they're going to start learning and starting to listen is when we speak up. If things are stuff that you've already tried, then you say, hey, no, I've already done that. We've tried that. We've got to come up with a different plan. So, speak up with your doctor. Speak out to the community. Be it, if you're like to speak, do a talk on diabetes. Don't let people constantly keep you in the dark. It's unfair to you, and it also makes it so that you have to live up to expectations that other people have agreed on, that you have no idea what's going on. They're going to come to you and say, okay, this is what you're going to do. And what happens if I don't agree with it? I'm not saying to argue, but if you have to, voice your opinion strongly. And that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. We'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.